I think when I think about your book, not many, but I don't know about percentage wise, but a lot of the quotes, the intro quotes for the books came from movies, and
Yeah.
which is great. That's how we bond in our society sometimes, is doing movie quotes and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
The first chapter, of course, is about the conversation between Neo and Trinity in the Matrix, and he wants to know the answer, and she responds by saying something to the effect is, it's the question that drives us. What's the question that's driving you right now at this stage of your life?
Yeah, great question, John. I've been reading a book by Walt Harrington, and he was a Washington Post reporter for a number of years. Is a I'm not sure if he's English or literature professor now at Champaign Urbana in outside Chicago. But he wrote a book, and it's actually called "Acts of Creation" is the name of the title, and it's about craftsmanship. Um, I'm really curious about what has me questioning kind of the what would it look like to live into. So, what's the question that drives me? As Trinity said, is one of the questions I'm asking is, where am I a craftsman, and where am I not yet? What would it mean? Where do I want to really double down? And what would that require of me? And so, for instance, being an expert or being really gifted at something are not, they're not the same as a craftsman. And a craftsman, so the 10,000 hours rule that a lot of us have heard of, it takes 10,000 hours to be really, exceptional at it. And it has a big jump. And there's all kinds of research about that and books that have popularized that idea. Let's say that all being true, a craftsman, there's never a finish line. A craftsman is fiercely committed to the craft and never feels like he or she arrives at some advertised place of achievement or arrival, or there's always another part. And where that comes to life for me is last spring I was listening to Stephen King's book called On Writing. And I want to say at the time it was probably late 90s or so that he wrote that. And I listened to it on audio, read by him, and really fascinating, definitely a modern day craftsman. And when you actually look at his craft and his rhythms of living, his way of approaching his craft, his fierce belief about how it should be and shouldn't be, and those kinds of things. So when I compare myself, and I don't mean as a writer specifically, but just categorically, if that's a craftsman that I have now interacted with, where am I in relation to that? And then where's my passion meter in relation to, do I actually want to become a craftsman? Or are there places that I am okay with just being okay, or the 10,000 hours? Like, yeah, I'm pretty good, but I'm not a craftsman. Let's make the distinction. The thing that intrigues me about craftsmanship is that it has such a soulful steadiness to it that I wonder if there'd be some of the questions that I get entangled with sometimes, like, does this matter? And maybe I should just quit. Might I be able to move beyond those if I was actually fiercely committed as a craftsman? Would some of those questions nag me less, I wonder?